are here again today this is Consummate Health Foundation, an organization that has the main motive or set up just to help community, help educate people, get people informed on some basic health conditions. And we know that knowledge is power. Without it, there is no way we can live. That is why Consummate Health Foundation is formed. You go on outreach programs also to do free medical screening for people. And today we have with us our boss, brother Wisdom. He's a health personnel and he's here to educate us on viral hepatitis or hepatitis B specifically. And my brother, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so please, your name and who you are.
My name is Wisdom Ayembo Nabusiga. I'm a nurse, a practicing nurse, and a final year student at University of Ghana. God's willing, I'll be graduating this July. So.
Okay, so he's a practicing nurse and a student at the same time at the University of Ghana School of Nursing, and he's completing soon. Today, we want him to educate us on viral hepatitis, as I said, and specifically on hepatitis B. On hepatitis, we have a lot of them, the viral hepatitis, but specifically on hepatitis B. My brother, so when you talk of hepatitis B, what is it about?
Okay, so hepatitis B is a condition of the liver. If they say you have hepatitis B, it means that your liver is inflamed. In simple terms, it means that there's a problem with your liver. Something is inside your liver, and your liver is also reacting, trying to solve it. So in that process, then there are some changes in the liver. And so, basic terms, I think that is hepatitis B, and it is caused by a virus. The name of the virus is HEPATITIS virus.
Okay, the name of the virus that causes hepatitis B, or the virus that causes hepatitis B, is HEPATITIS virus.
So the virus that causes hepatitis B, like you said, we have hepatitis A, we have B, we have C, we have D, we have E, and studies is still ongoing. So for now, the virus that causes hepatitis B is HEPATITIS virus. So that is the specific virus that causes hepatitis B.
Okay, so we are learning. If someone has this condition, if I have hepatitis B, how would I know that I have hepatitis? Because it's a condition that is killing a lot of people. And if you can give us some statistics on that, some people being infected lately with this condition, if you can give us some general overview of how it is, people are actually contracting this disease or how it is killing people.
All right, so with the statistics, let me narrow it down to Ghana here. Ghana, the prevalence is about, if they say prevalent, it means how the extent of the virus in our system. So it ranges from, they will say greater or equals to 8%, means that it's 8 and above. And this is not just on paper, like this is real thing, because I've been engaged in certain hepatitis B screening, and if you sum everything, it's actually what we have is 8.3%. Meaning, in average, if you take 100 people and screen, you are likely to get about 8 people testing positive.
Okay, so you mean that apart from the statistics you talked about first as 8, more than, you said
greater or
equal to
8%.
8%. Apart from that, yourself personally, you have done some research into it by engaging people, conducting medical screening for them, and then if you run down your own statistics, do you have the 8%?
Yes, so we have been engaged in Hep B screening, and I think so far our figure is above 1,000, what we've done. So if you add all of them, we have gathered the data, and then it is not actually a research, so it is a personal thing that we are doing. So from what we've done so far, we have 8.3% if you total everything. So that is in line with what WHO says, that hepatitis B prevalence is 8% in Ghana. And if you look at what they usually say, if they say 8% on the map of countries with prevalence, Ghana has been given all those with 8% above have a deep blue dot, meaning that it's very high. It's very high. So ideally in Ghana, it is around that, just 8 and above, and it is real. It's not just like WHO just put it there. It's very real.
So it means
from
that
our
it's not
screen.
a condition that we can just undermine. It is prevalent in Ghana.
It is. It
Yes.
is. Very
If we
prevalent.
have a deep blue coding, it means that it is prevalent in Ghana.
It is, and what we should be worried is that government is actually doing very little in that area, because if you look at, like I just said, hepatitis B is 8% and HIV is 1.6% prevalence.
This is funny. HIV is prevalence in Ghana. That's what I mean. It's
1.6%.
6%, but hepatitis B prevalence in Ghana
is 8%.
8%.
Exactly.
You can just imagine. But this is a condition that we rather undermine and invest a little or little resources in.
Exactly. And if you look at SDGs too, if you look at SDGs targets, SDG 3, it talks about good health and well-being, right? So you look at SDG 3.3 and they talk about trying to control hepatitis B, viral hepatitis in general. HIV is part, tuberculosis is part, malaria is part. But you look at all these conditions, you realize that with HIV, now you can walk into any facility and have free HIV testing, right? They won't take you anything. Even they are begging people to come and test. If you come to malaria drugs are very common, and people are going around sharing mosquito nets, and pregnant women are taking SP during this pregnancy to prevent as a preventive measure. So a lot is being done there, but hepatitis B, government is really not doing so much. I think what government is doing is during postnatal, I think CWC, Child Welfare Clinic, which is also known as WAY. That is what they usually give them, those injections at the time. It contains hepatitis B. So if you are fighting hepatitis B in this manner, where you target children, what of the adults who are giving it to their children? So I think a lot from government is really not doing so much. So it is that is why some of us have taken it up upon ourselves individually to also see how we can help fight this hepatitis B in our system.
Okay, so I know if wisdom is talking about government not doing much, it doesn't mean the current government. Government in the past have not invested so much into the fight of this condition.
Exactly.
A condition that we have rather paid attention. Some of the conditions we rather paid attention to, malaria, HIV is rather is prevalent, but not that much as hepatitis B. Meaning some attention must be paid there. And Consummate Health Foundation, we have decided to educate people. We go sometimes we do free screening, we educate them, we refer people, those who are reactive, we do that. And so that's why we have Wisdom here, and he's actually teaching us a lot. So Wisdom, if I have hepatitis B, how would I know that I have hepatitis B?
Most of those who test positive, majority of those who test positive is just like, because let me start it this way. Hepatitis B, we have two types. We have acute and chronic. So the acute hepatitis is usually after getting the infection, the first 6 months. That is when you say the person has an acute hepatitis. Then after 6 months, it's called chronic. So at the acute phase, most of those at the acute phase really don't show any signs and symptoms. They are walking. So if you've encountered anybody who has ever tested hepatitis, it's usually through free screening. They hear they are doing free screening, or they are going to donate blood for a relative. Then when after screening them for the blood, they tell you no, you can't. You have hepatitis B. So at the acute phase, hardly do they show any signs and symptoms. You are just as normal as anybody. But then you can have things like nausea, like general if you are sick, how people usually feel. You can have nausea, weakness, and other things. But at the chronic stage, that is where you start to have jaundice.
So the acute stage, some of the signs are
you can have nausea, fatigue,
okay,
just like body weakness and other things.
Okay, at the acute stage, that is before the 6 months.
Exactly.
Okay, at the acute stage.
At the acute stage. So at the chronic stage, that is when you usually have conditions that will tell you that there's a problem with your liver, and so you can experience like jaundice. Your eyes become illuminating.
That is after 6 months.
After 6 months, then when you work for like you have recurrent fatigue, like from time to time you become fatigued.
Okay, so Wisdom is trying to tell us that before the 6 months it is difficult to detect, but then if you have some signs and symptoms like nausea, fever.
The issue is that with nausea, most people feel like vomiting it, or that even malaria.
Other conditions.
Exactly. So at the acute, which is very common with other conditions, even malaria. If you have malaria, you have nausea, you can have fatigue, like body weakness and other things like that. And so that's usually at the chronic stage where the liver has been damaged or is in the process of being damaged completely after 6 months of infection. That is when you can have conditions like the jaundice. You can have your body can be itching because of the jaundice. When you have jaundice, your body too itches, and then you can, at some extreme stages, you realize that the person will have bloated abdomen. Like I said, these are not classical of hepatitis B, and you can't just look at somebody with those signs and say you have hepatitis B, because other conditions affect the liver and they present the same. So the only way you can know you have hepatitis B is to do the hepatitis B test. So that's the only way. If not, if you see somebody with those signs, you cannot just say no, the person is having hepatitis, because even people who take alcohol who consume alcohol a lot can also have conditions with their liver. People who take herbs, like herbs which are not has not undergone those approval, can also experience those same signs and symptoms. So you might be mistaken that the person is having hepatitis. So ideally, the best way to know is to do the hepatitis B test.
Okay, so even though some signs and symptoms may be seen, when you see them, you have to still go to the hospital or any health facility and then get tested for hepatitis B.
Exactly.
Because it is killing a lot of people. A condition, as we compared this, or we juxtaposed this with other conditions, we got to know that conditions that we are all afraid of, like HIV/AIDS, is even though prevalent and we have to take much care into that, still we can't even compare that to hepatitis B, which is about 8%. From juxtaposing that to HIV, which is just about 1.something percent. So we have to pay much attention to that. So okay, now we've talked about some of the signs and symptoms. What of treatment? Is there anything like, because now we know HIV is not curable, at least there are some medications that people who are reactive or positive can take and it sustains them. What about hepatitis B? Medications like that, is it curable?
Yes, hepatitis B is curable and not curable. It is curable because your body has the potential of curing it, building that defense against it. Within the first 6 months, most of the time, we might ask you to do hepatitis B profile, liver function test. So when you do the Hep B profile, there are certain indicators. I think there are about 5 or so indicators in the two, or about 5 or 6 indicators. So once you do the indicators, we are able to tell you that at this stage, you have the hepatitis, but you are not that infectious. Or at this point, you are infectious. So take these measures.
Meaning we have to, once we have to be checking. We just don't have to wait to even detect the symptoms and signs. We have to be checking.
Exactly. So when you test positive and you see a doctor, the doctor will take you through some treatment like plans. So, and those treatment plans within the first 6 months, they don't encourage you to take any drug. But what the herbalists and the rest have taken advantage is that because they know we are desperate to get a cure, they will keep announcing that on TV and other things. And the media have given them so much space. So they will keep announcing that they have the cure for hepatitis B. So you go and they give you herbs. And at that stage that your body has the ability of curing itself, that is when you are rather putting more injuries, because any herb you take will pass through your liver. And once it passes through your liver will have to work out to clear it, detoxify it. So once it happens that way, you are putting more pressure on the liver. So at that stage, most people are not able to build that, to get that cure, natural cure. So they end up getting complications earlier, even before getting to the chronic stage.
So to sum it up, at a certain stage, it can be cured. And beyond a certain stage too, it cannot be cured. And the basic thing, or the fundamental issue here we're talking about, is that you have to get tested. Then the experts would tell you at the stage in which you are, whether you can be cured or you cannot be cured. That is what wisdom is teaching us. So the basic thing, the fundamental issue here is that get tested.
Yes.
Periodically, you have to get tested. So once you test and then the experts from their own point of understanding get to know that you can be cured, they will tell you that this and that can be done. But if you cannot be cured, please don't resort to herbal treatment. This is what wisdom is telling us. Don't resort to, because even the herbs can also get you what deteriorate, the condition deteriorated
Yes.
even further.
So even the herbs itself can cause hepatitis, but not hepatitis B.
Okay, the herbs
Can
itself
cause
can even
hepatitis,
cause
but
damage
not
to the liver.
But so hepatitis is just damage to the liver,
liver
like
and then
inflammation of the
inflame.
liver. But when you say hepatitis B, that means you are particular that is caused by the hepatitis B virus.
Okay, so when we say hepatitis B, then we know that there's a certain virus causing it.
Yes,
But when apart from that, there
If you
can
hear
be
hepatitis, even drugs, the drugs we take, para and other things can cause, if you abuse that, can cause hepatitis. That's why we don't advise, when you test positive for hepatitis B, you don't go in for these herbs because they will kill you faster. Some of them will kill you faster unless they are certified. I don't always encourage people because I know at the acute phase, your body has the tendency of curing you. So I actually don't.
Okay, so at the acute stage, the body has a tendency of
Curing
getting
it,
rid of the virus.
I have actually come across somebody like that as part of the screening I do. He tested positive. He did the profile. They told him they will put you on lifestyle modification, which include don't take alcohol, don't take those herbs.
At the acute stage.
Exactly. Maintain rest and drink.
And
fluid. Don't wait to
when
get-
you comply very well, the body can get rid of it.
your body, it means you are positioning your body in a form to build the immunity.
Wow, wow, wow,
Yes.
wow, wow. So wisdom. Now let's go to prevention. Now I get tested. I know I'm negative. How do I protect myself?
So the prevention, there's one key prevention that
But even before then, how do we contract it? How do we get it? Is it through breathing, or eating with someone who has it? How do we get it?
okay, so with the how you get it, just as how you get HIV, it's just the same. Having unprotected sex, sharing of sharps, male homosexuals,
Okay, with people who have
exactly,
them. Okay.
chronic drug user with people
Who
who
have the
have it.
condition.
Exactly.
Okay.
So once you keep doing that, you are predisposing yourself to getting hepatitis B. But one myth which is going on is that people can get it through saliva and people can get it through sweat. I encountered some people who didn't, they are fire service people. So I went to educate them on this, and they said they really don't share their overall suits. What they use in fighting them because of that. Because they had, even if you touch, if you shake the person's hand, you get it. When you
Okay.
shake, you don't get it.
So you mean sweat doesn't cause it,
It doesn't cause hepatitis.
and then saliva doesn't cause it too?
The thing about saliva, you can get it through like those deep kisses.
Okay, deep
Fine,
kissing,
exactly.
okay.
Because the virus stays in the blood, and the virus can stay outside the body for up to 7 days.
Okay, the virus can stay
Outside the human body
for only 7 days.
Up to 7
Up
days.
to 7 days. Okay.
Unlike HIV, that one cannot survive 7 days. So after
Okay.
within that time, the virus is already gone. But with hepatitis B, can stay up to 7 days. So, but the thing about saliva is that the membranes in our mouths are very light. So even you can brush your teeth and get bruises. So there's a likelihood that blood is mixed up with the saliva fine. So if I have that cat, you also have that cat, they will share, we exchange kisses. So there can be a contact between that.
Okay, so if there is nothing like
Cat,
then the saliva
you
alone
can't get hepatitis B, exactly.
and the sweat too.
No, you can't get
If there's nothing like
There are myths that you can get it.
yeah, there's misconceptions. Okay, so I think we are learning. So how do we prevent it? Now, even though we know the causes, how do we also
So the prevention, the number one key thing is to take the vaccine. The vaccine is the only.
take hepatitis? Okay, so you mean that hepatitis B, unlike HIV/AIDS, there is a vaccine?
Yes.
This is what wisdom is teaching us today. Unlike HIV/AIDS, for hepatitis B, there is a vaccine.
Yes. So for hepatitis B, there's a vaccine that you can take to protect yourself, and the prices. I can't mention the prices now.
Okay,
because
when you
it
get
varies.
vaccinated, you have to pay.
You have to pay. It's not free. Like I said, government hasn't injected much into hepatitis. Unlike not just this current government. If I say government, I'm talking
mean
about
government?
successive
Yes, government.
governments who have come. They haven't actually done, and NGOs too are not Okay, some
paying
NGOs are
attention.
doing, they are doing, like people are going
Like
around.
we are doing, like
Exactly.
Consumer Health Foundation.
Exactly, but when we come to government is not doing so much as compared to like things like tuberculosis. Just recently, government ordered that people who have TB should be put on health insurance for free. People who have HIV are getting the drugs for free, but people who have hepatitis B are left on their own. Whether you are dying, you are surviving, you are left on your own. You see, so there's actually a vaccine, and the vaccine you take it within. You take three different types. Like you take it 1, 2, 3 on within a period of 6 months.
Okay, the vaccine.
The vaccine you take within a period of 6 months. So within that period of 6 months, you take the first one. Assuming today is July, we are in May. Sorry, we are in May. So when I take one in May, the next one will be in June. Then the last one will be 4 months after the June.
Okay.
That's the schedule. But there's another bad practice ongoing. People will be giving it consecutively for 3 months, which is very wrong. It shouldn't be done that way.
Okay.
It's very wrong to give it today, next month, then the third month you give it. No, there should be 4 months in between the second and the
So
last
now
one.
wisdom is telling us that comparing the two conditions that people are scared of, hepatitis B and HIV/AIDS. Hepatitis B is, even to use local words to explain, is even with us more than HIV/AIDS. With the statistics that he reviewed, that even with HIV/AIDS, it's just about 1.6% prevalence in Ghana, but for hepatitis B, about 8.3,
Above 8.0.
above 8.0
8.0%, yeah.
with us now. So we have to be cautious. If you get tested and then you are negative, please get vaccinated. This is what our boss today is teaching us. And you have to educate others. As you watch, you also have to educate others. This is what he's telling us today, and I think we are learning a lot. Please, is there anything that you want to add? I think we have to be engaging him on other days too, so that he educates. It looks as if there is more into hepatitis B that we have not learnt yet, and so we have to be engaging him. Is there anything you want to add?
Yeah. So with the prevention, most people when they test and they are negative, I've heard several excuses. I fear needles. Because I have encountered somebody who has been doing this testing up to 6 times. So the 7th time he wanted to take the vaccine. He was very serious to take the vaccine. Unfortunately for him, he had tested positive. And if you test positive,
You can't take the vaccine.
you can't take the vaccine. And when you test positive, the amount of money you even pay to do the test, like the test to know the way forward, is even expensive than taking.
Okay, so
the
series
3
of tests.
Exactly.
When you are positive,
you do
series
liver
of-
function test, you do hepatitis B profile, you do scan, you do viral load.
And once you have it, occasionally you'll be doing it.
Yes, you do. And even with the viral load, it's even about 400 CD plus.
That is just the viral.
Exactly. And with the vaccine, on average, you shouldn't be spending more than 60 Ghana to take the 3 within the 6 months.
Okay. Meanwhile,
on average,
to get vaccinated for you to be protected for life, it's less than
the
100 cedis.
protection is actually not for life.
Okay.
It doesn't protect for life.
Okay.
What happens is that after checking your hepatitis B, after taking the vaccine, it's actually not for life.
Okay.
Most of the vaccine manufacturers quote they will say up to 20 years.
20 years. Okay.
They will just say up to 20
Up to
years.
20 years. Okay.
So meaning you could even lose that immunity immediately after taking it because of the cold chain system in our environment. So there's a test that people don't also talk about. It's called hepatitis B antibodies titer.
Yes. Okay.
So after taking the 3 vaccines, 4 weeks to 8 weeks, but I prefer we can just wait like 3 months, then you do that test. So when you do that test, there's a figure you are supposed to have. That figure is around 10. It's 10 international units per mil. So when you get an above that, then you know you are protected. So I have done I took my last vaccine in 2010. So last year around December, I decided, because of this campaign, I decided to check. When I checked, my figure was around 836.
Okay.
Meaning that I'm fully protected. I'm certain.
Okay. So you shouldn't get less than 10 IU.
Exactly. So
Okay.
to be sure you are fully protected, you have to do the hepatitis B antibodies titer.
Okay. Hepatitis B
Antibodies
antibodies
titer
titer.
test.
So everyone is watching.
Hepatitis B
They are
antibodies
learning.
titer
Okay.
test. But a lot of people don't want to take the vaccine, because I've also come across somebody who took the 3 vaccines and later when he came he tested positive. So to be sure you are fully protected, you have to do the antibodies titer test. But a lot of people really don't do. People are rather say you take 4th dose after 5 years, which is wrong. You should never take a 4th dose
Okay.
of. You should never take up to 4.
Okay.
There are people who can take 4,
Okay.
and there are those who are immunosuppressed, like HIV people. You can give them the 4th one.
Okay.
People who are on dialysis, you can give them the 4th one. But
Okay.
on routinely, like
Okay.
myself and you,
Okay.
there's no way you should
need
give
the
4th.
4th
No.
shot. Okay.
What you need is the hepatitis B antibodies titer test to be sure that
Okay.
you are
those
you are fully
of
protected.
you who are also taking the vaccine, you have to make sure that you go back to the laboratory to check to know if you are fully protected. You just enter, tell them you want to know if you are fully protected from the hepatitis B virus. I think we are learning a lot, and maybe we have to find some other time and then engage our brother wisdom. We are coming all the way from to you, all the way from our offices or of our group, that is Consummate Health Foundation. As we have said, we want to educate the public, and that is why today we are engaging our brother wisdom. Thank you very much, wisdom. We know that some other time we have to be, and maybe in our engagement with churches and schools and other organizations, maybe we have to engage you as well to go and teach them on our behalf. Thank you very much. God bless you.